and I'll do a quick check. We are live. We are live. Going perfectly well. Hello, Aryan. Hi. So we'll just wait for a couple of minutes. एक minute. Is there some lag from my end? It seems so. Just give me a second.
No worries.
YouTube पे थोड़ा सा lag हो रहा था. I don't know why. हाँ, we are here. We are here. So, hello, hi, good evening, everyone. Good evening. Welcome all of you to this session where we have with us Dev Shroff. थोड़ा सा we'll just wait. मैं एक reminder message डाल देता हूँ on the groups so that everyone can join in, and thereafter we'll begin. है ना? Uh, all right. Hello, hi, good evening, friends. Good evening, everyone. कैसे हो आप लोग? I hope all of you are doing great. Right, and in this session we have with us Dev Shroff, who is in first year of Gandhinagar National Law University, and he cleared his Clat entrance examination in the year 2021. I can very happily say that Dev has been a tremendously amazing student, जिसको कि मुझे train करने का मौका मिला, and I hope इस session में through this interview तुम लोग अपोगे Dave से as to how did he prepare for his entrance examination and कैसे उसने boards अपना बाकी extra curricular activities अपनी CLAT की preparation किस तरीके से manage की, how did he also manage with the pressure of uh, examinations being postponed because of the pandemic, कि वो एक एडेड प्रेशर था कि वो उसको कैसे उसने डील किया. सो ऑल ऑफ दीज थिंग्स, और ऑल्सो हम लोग उससे सब्जेक्ट वाइज क्वेरीज, कौन सी बुक्स उसने रेफर की, कौन से सोर्सेस किया, हम सब कुछ जो है वो उससे पूछेंगे. अरे यार, मेरे एंड से एक्चुअली लैग हो रहा है, विच आई कैन सी. And the Wi-Fi had to give troubles today. And this is exactly what happens. I just finished a class at 6:30. There was no problem, but know what has happened now. Uh, just a second. I'll just stop the stream on YouTube and fix. हाँ ठीक है. हेलो हाय गुड इवनिंग फ्रेंड्स. अभी ठीक है? हाँ अभी ठीक है ना? ओके देव के लिए ठीक है। आई एम जस्ट चेकिंग द यूट्यूब का कमेंट्स। हाँ आई थिंक अभी ठीक है, अभी लैग नहीं हो रहा। हाँ सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल सिंसियर अपॉलजीज। ये पता है दिस इज समथिंग विच हैपेंस व्हेन यू हैव अ वेरी बिग थिंग प्लान्ड। कुछ ना कुछ समथिंग और द अदर विल ऑलवेज गो रॉन्ग एंड वेल एनी विच वे वो हमारे कंट्रोल में था नहीं, बट आई थिंक आई एम सिटिंग वेरी वेरी क्लोज टू माई वाईफाई राउटर नाउ एंड अभी कोई लैग नहीं होगा। एक बार प्लीज गाइस तुम लोग क्विकली कंफर्म कर दो कि कोई लैग नहीं है एंड यू कैन हियर मी प्रॉपर्ली। जस्ट राइट नो लैग। बिल्कुल ठीक है, चलो ग्रेट ग्रेट। सो हेलो हाय गुड इवनिंग फ्रेंड्स, गुड इवनिंग ऑल ऑफ यू जो लोग सेशन ज्वाइन किए हो एंड लेट अस एक्चुअली लेट अस एक्चुअली also firstly welcome Dev Shroff, who is in first year of GNLU Gandhinagar National Law University, and it brings me immense joy to invite Dev for this session because I still remember 2019 जब मैं पहली बार देव से मिला था and we started our journey of preparation for law entrance examination together. And I'm a very proud mentor to say that Dev has done his share of struggles and everything and gave his best to be where he is today. उसके पास कई सारे ऑप्शंस थे। आई स्टिल रिमेंबर टॉकिंग टू हिज पेरेंट्स कि कहाँ जाना चाहिए, किस यूनिवर्सिटी को अप्रोच करना चाहिए, लाइक किस यूनिवर्सिटी को चूज करना चाहिए एंड फाइनली ही हैज लैंडेड टू जीएनएलयू एंड आई एम श्योर कि वो शायद एंजॉय कर रहा है, जो कि हम थोड़ा बाद में जानेंगे देव से। सो गाइज अपने जो भी क्वेश्चंस हैं तुम लोग प्लीज रेडी रखना कि क्या तुम लोग पूछना चाहते हो। अभी डोंट स्टार्ट पुटिंग इन योर क्वेश्चंस बिकॉज देयर विल बी अ लॉट ऑफ क्वेश्चंस जो कि मैं देव से पूछने वाला हूँ। सो डोंट वरी अबाउट इट। सो मैं आई बी आस्किंग अ लॉट ऑफ क्वेश्चंस टू देव, तो उससे काफी कुछ कवर हो जाएगा, राइट? सो वेलकम, गुड इवनिंग देव, लाइक हेलो, वेलकम टू दिस सेशन, थैंक यू फॉर ज्वाइनिंग।
Good evening, sir.
गुड इवनिंग। सो फर्स्टली देव, सबसे पहले अपने को इंट्रोड्यूस करो टू ऑल द फेलो एस्पिरेंट्स जो हैं, जो ज्वाइन किए हम लोग को।
Absolutely. Hi, friends. I'm Dev. I'm a first year student at Gujarat National Law University. I'm pursuing BCom LLB and the 5 years degree. And I studied commerce in 11th and 12th. So naturally, I'm inclined to BCom. Along with scoring good marks at Clat, I am also an international and national table tennis player, having represented India at various countries. While my Clat preparation was going on, I also won the South Asian Championship and I was proclaimed the South Asian champion. अभी ऐसा लास्ट ईयर जब भी क्लैट दिया था, आई यूज टू मैनेज क्लैट देन बोर्ड्स और फिर मेरा स्पोर्ट्स भी था, तो इट वाज a difficult journey, but finally I cracked it, and I am one of the best national law universities. That is Gujarat National Law University.
अमेजिंग। सो देव लाइक ऑलराइट, सो एक क्वेश्चन जो मुझे बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स पूछते हैं कि हाउ डू वी मैनेज बोर्ड्स अलोंग विद क्लैट प्रिपरेशन, राइट? एंड स्टूडेंट्स जो होते हैं दे आर लाइक कि बोर्ड प्रिपरेशन, क्लैट प्रिपरेशन ऑलरेडी बहुत कुछ हो जाता है, टाइम नहीं मिलता है, एंड यू ऑन द अदर हैंड हैव रिप्रेजेंटेड इंडिया, राइट, एट टेबल टेनिस स्पोर्ट्स एट वेरियस फोरम्स, और तुम 11th एंड 12th में भी यू कंटिन्यूड प्लेइंग। इट वाज नॉट लाइक कि तुमने सैबैटिकल लेके छोड़ दिया था, यू कंटिन्यूड प्लेइंग टेबल टेनिस एंड आई
That's
थिंक
right, sir.
हाँ आई थिंक अभी तुम्हारे गुजरात नेशनल लॉ यूनिवर्सिटी का जो मंथली लेटर हेड कुछ निकलता है उसमें भी यू फीचर्ड, मैं ऐसा कुछ देख रहा था, it came across and I was like कि wow, this is nice, I know this boy. I know Dev. So how did you manage playing table tennis at international level, clat preparation, your board preparation? Do you think कि तुम कुछ exceptional हो या तुमने कुछ चीजें differently की that helped you?
No, sir, I'm just a regular guy, and I just had a little more motivation to crack CLAT along with even excelling in sports or your boards maybe I scored a real good percentage and so let me tell you जब भी students 12 boards भी दे रहे थे और CLAT भी दे रहे थे मेरा तो practice भी चालू था and along with the practice I had to play matches. I used to be away from home for at least 2 weeks to 1 month, so I used to carry books and papers to my tournaments and moreover I had to find time to focus on CLAT, which was a very challenging task because academics was a massive problem कि क्लैट क्लैट एंट्रेंस भी ध्यान देना पड़ता था फिर स्पोर्ट्स भी along with boards. So luckily Vaibhav sir's mentorship really helped me and I would like to put down some effective time management strategy like this. So if you are well in time doing a 2 year course, you have ample time to study. So एक concept आराम से revise करके आराम से just brush up on a concepts and be clear with it. But if you have a year or less, you should devote equal time in solving as many mocks as possible, also pursuing boards. But if you have about 3 months or 2 months, which is for Clat 2022 takers, I suggest that you solve a mock each day and don't forget to analyze it. So if you give a mock just like that, if you give a mock randomly, it will benefit. But analyzing and finding your mistakes, finding how much you have got, so that is one of the main reasons. You need to start putting more focus now on Clat because Clat 2022 के अभी मई में एग्जाम आ रहे तो थोड़ा प्रेशर लगता है but it's easily cracked.
Right, fair. Acha Dev, before we go and delve into a lot of other questions about preparation, मैं एक चीज पूछना चाहूँगा तुम्हारे background में I can see a library. So are you actually sitting in the library right now, or is it just a background of your library and you're sitting in your hostel room?
Sir, I'm sitting in the library, and GNLU's library is proclaimed one of the best out of all NLUs, and it's a huge library. बहुत मजा आता है. So we spend our whole day there solving mood problems, solving our projects, our assignments. So so unfortunately we don't have ACs in our hostel room, so we tend to sit here in the library at least for 6 to 7 hours at a continuous time.
So everyone who is attending the session देख लो, when you go to college तुमको जुगाड़ ऐसे करने पड़ते हैं कि अगर गर्मी होती है तो you have to go to library and you are forced to sit in the library जहाँ पे AC है and उसी बहाने आप थोड़ा और पढ़ना शुरू कर देते हो and you see a lot of competition around. And the fact that I also am from a national university, but the fact that he's sitting in the library and talking, जो हमारे library में possible नहीं था because it was a smaller library. So I can definitely vouch for his कि GNLU की library काफी बड़ी है कि वो library में बैठ के आराम से बात कर रहा है, एक session ले पा रहा है हम लोग.
So this is a dedicated moot room only for moots because GNLU is also known for its mooting skills.
Fair.
We win most of the championships in mooting, so that's one of the reasons I joined GNLU. Very interested in crafting and mooting.
So how are you liking GNLU experience so far? You're in first year. अभी recently I think you have gone to the campus. जैसे हमारी बात हुई थी. Very recently you have gone to the campus and it's the first year. How is the experience so far?
That's right. So मेरा पहला semester 6 months that started in July and August and ended in Jan. I spent it online. और Jan वो लोग ने बोला कि this whole semester optional. So if you want to study from home, then you can study. Or if you want to come, you have a choice. But अभी एक week पहले हम लोग को mail आया कि it's going to be offline, so everyone has to compulsorily be on the campus and offline exams. So right now the experience has been a little overwhelming, but I'm sure I'll get used to it in some time.
That's fair. ठीक है. All right. So again, Dev, coming back to your preparation journey. Now, what do you think students should be doing right now, considering कि अभी एक बार like we don't know कि CLAT examination postpone होगा कि नहीं होगा या whatever happens we don't know. Considering कि अभी अपने पास 2 to 3 months का time है before the CLAT actually happens, what is one thing that you would suggest to the students preparing right now? One thing.
Sir, coming to your earlier point, कि chances of getting postponed, or don't keep those apprehensions in mind. बस ऐसा सोचो कि एग्जाम आ रहा है, ऐसे if you keep thinking कि postpone होएगा, then you'll never be able to complete work. तो अभी एग्जाम May में है, तो keep your goal of May only. Don't think कि the consortium will postpone it, but start from right now itself. So one thing I would like to say to the 2022 takers is revision and practice. That's the it's, almost the same thing, but that's one point I would really like to focus on. So if you just solve mocks randomly, हर 3 दिन एक ही mock solve किया, फिर उसको भूल गए, छोड़ दिया, that will not be acceptable, because एक तो you don't know where your mistakes are, how you're managing your time, how your organizational skills are. So what I did in the last few months is I solved a mock on a regular basis, और जो and I also sent my answers to Vaibhav sir, or even questions to Vaibhav sir, and he used to answer the same night itself. तो एक मॉक करके उसका एनालिसिस कंप्लीट करता था, उसके पहले मैं सोता नहीं था. तो एनालिसिस इज द main thing which I am reiterating.
Fair. That is actually very correct. And I can also remember the fact that they would send me a lot of questions कि सर देखो ये नहीं बना, ये question कैसे होगा, इसका ये समझ में नहीं आया.
And so you used to answer in really less times. Thank you so much for that.
And a lot of times I would take a lot of time as well to get back to him. But most of the time I would immediately answer, which I any which way do for all of you. I guess तुम लोग सब लोग मेरे Telegram channel पे जो जुड़े हुए हो, तुम लोग क्वेश्चंस डालते हो, मैं आंसर करते ही रहता हूँ. बट देव मुझे एक बात बताओ कि अभी से लाइक व्हाट वुड योर सजेशन बी कि एक वीक में कितने मॉक्स लिखने चाहिए, आइडियल नंबर ऑफ मॉक्स कितना होना चाहिए एक स्टूडेंट के लिए विदाउट गेटिंग ओवरवेल्म्ड?
सर if I'm honest, तो पहले keep one cheat day, one day for yourself. But other days, full focus on Clat, because if you want to get into an NLU, and getting into an NLU has a lot of advantages over disadvantages. So NLU में आना तो at least 5 to 6 marks daily, and it's analysis. Okay. 5 to 6 marks, I'm sorry,
in a week.
Yes.
Like 5 to 6 in a day, like
So that's impossible.
Yeah, fair. 5 to 6, five mocks at least in a week. You're saying
that's
करना चाहिए. And
sir, assuming the concepts are clear, assuming English, logical, math and
नहीं चलो ठीक है. सपोजिटली मान लो कोई स्टूडेंट ये कहता है देव कि मेरे ना कॉन्सेप्ट्स बहुत क्लियर नहीं है, लेकिन मैं फिर भी मॉक ले रहा हूँ. कैन आई क्लियर माय कॉन्सेप्ट्स थ्रू दोज मॉक्स?
That's a really good point, sir. You can always understand the concepts through mocks, because एक तो time limit दिया हुआ था, तो pressure आता है, pressure में you tend to do well. That's one of my strategies even in table tennis, कि थोड़ा pressure आता है तो you have full focus, and you have the mental strength to focus well and to get a really good score in mocks. So concept wise, if you for English and logical, so definitely I am asking you to solve mocks as well as Vaibhav sir's material on Unacademy. So I believe so कि mocks के साथ concepts clear हो जाएंगे. But for example, in logical reasoning, you have questions of strengthening, weakening, then inference, then conclusion. उसका जो word का meaning है, that you have to get it cleared first. कि what does this exactly mean? So what is the conclusion? What is the main theme? तो ये सब जो concepts है, वो you have to put practice only those questions. फिर you can come to mocks.
Fair. ठीक है, मैं समझा. अच्छा, also they like one thing that like fair. तुमने जो बोला कि यार mock tests लेके भी, जो कि एक full length paper होता है जिसमें कि मैं 2 hours में अपने को 150 odd questions पे टेस्ट करता हूँ कि मैंने कितना ट्राई किया. So I have two follow-up questions.
Sure.
One is कि तुम्हारा टारगेट स्कोर कितना रखते थे, कि लाइक इन द माइंड कि यार कितना मेरे को स्कोर करना है मॉक में, क्योंकि ये एक बहुत बड़ा डायलेमा होता है स्टूडेंट्स के दिमाग में कि यार एंड ना कई बार आप डिसहार्टेंड हो जाते हो कि आपको 70s आ गया या आपको 80s आ गया या आपको 50s आ गया. आई एम श्योर तुमको भी कुछ मॉक्स में आए होंगे, है ना. सो दैट इज वन क्वेश्चन, दैट व्हाट वाज द टारगेट स्कोर दैट यू ऑलवेज केप्ट इन माइंड कि मेरे को इतना तो बेयर मिनिमम स्कोर करना है. एंड सेकेंडली is that when you sat for analysis, how much time did you take to do that analysis of that mock?
Sir, coming to your first question, I believe that I started very early with Vaibhav sir and Unacademy. I started almost 2 years before my exam. So as soon as 1 year passed, I had cleared my concepts and everything in math, the formulas, legal में the different kinds of laws, just criminal law or torts होता है sir. Then फिर logical reasoning में concepts I cleared. So I started mocks a year prior. So I didn't have a target score in mind, but as I gave the mocks one per week or two per week, and then increased my number of mocks per week, so I always had it in mind कि score 2 marks more than the previous paper. तो ऐसा टारगेट नहीं था. तो पहले पेपर में मैंने 50 स्कोर, इवन चलो 40 स्कोर किया था. नेक्स्ट मॉक में 42, फिर 44. देयर वाज नो टारगेट, बट 2 to 3 marks higher than the previous marks.
Okay, so it's like वो जो बचपन में हमने स्टोरी पढ़ी थी ना, स्लो एंड स्टेडी विंस द रेस. आई थिंक इट इज दैट. ठीक है, फेयर, आई गेट दैट. अच्छा, now
Sir, the Clat 2022 takers also can devise a strategy. If you give one mock per day, try to get a score higher than the previous mock. That will be very efficient, and motivation भी आएगा to score more than your other peers, as well as score break your own goals.
That is fair, and actually this brings me to the second question जो मैंने तुमसे पूछा था, and let me a little rephrase it a little, saying कि एनालिसिस करे कैसे. चलो ठीक है, मैंने एक मॉक लिया, मैंने से फॉर एग्जांपल उसमें 55 स्कोर किया आउट ऑफ 150. तो 150 में 155 इज नॉट अ वेरी गुड स्कोर और मैं बड़ा डिसहार्टेंड होके बैठा हुआ. नाउ हाउ डू आई एनालाइज इट? मैं किस तरीके से उसको एनालाइज करूं सो दैट नेक्स्ट मॉक जब लूं तो कम से कम 55 से 60 तक तो पहुंचूं. सो हाउ डू आई डू दैट एनालिसिस? व्हाट डिड यू डू?
Right, sir. So, in my earlier mocks, I didn't keep a time limit. I wanted to solve all questions, questions in the Clat paper. I marked the question based on a way based on Vaibhav's strategy, which is A, B, C approach. So A stands for Abhi Karo, B stands for Baad Mein Karo, and C stands for Chhod Do. So I used to write the letter initials on the next to the question, और जब भी पेपर हो जाता, and then I used to correct कि कितने marks आए, कितने wrong गए, because I didn't like to keep it blank, क्योंकि ऐसा थोड़ा demotivate हो जाएगा blank का तो in the earlier mocks. Then we will come to time management, but अभी तो I used to solve all questions. तो तभी जब भी after I finished the paper, I first used to understand the B part, which is बाद में करो. So the बाद में करो means you know the answer to it, but it generally takes a long time and a long process to solve the answer. For example, a long question in maths which has a time, speed, distance, or something like that I used to mark B. So tabhi I used to finish those questions because I knew the answer, but I didn't know how to arrive at the answer.
Correct.
So I used to complete that, and after I completed it, I checked the answers of the initial of the option of B. So जो भी correct है, जो भी wrong है, and then coming to C, which is Chhod Do, that I didn't know anything about that question. So at that time, I used to research on the net as to what the answer is. For example, GK, because GK answers are easily available on the net.
Fair.
And GK is done. Then legal reasoning. Legal reasoning, I took help of Vaibhav sir. I sent the C part of questions to you, and you used to tell me what the principle is, what the fact is, and how is this guy liable or not. Then I used to even ask. I used to refer to my material as well. And I made it a point to complete all questions, even if it's B or C. I used to complete all questions. और मेरा एक ऐसा I had made a graph कि ये mock में इतने C वाले options आ रहे. So I saw that graph that it was decreasing every every week or every month थोड़ा थोड़ा कम हो रहा था because I used to gain confidence and I knew the law as well as other subjects. So I used to last May I got the number to around 10 to 15. So that's how I learned time management as well as leaving questions, which is a very important skill.
फेयर एंड द फैक्ट दैट देव ने स्टार्टिंग में बोला था कि वो जब एनालिसिस करता था तो वो एबीसी अप्रोच फॉलो करता था। तो मुझे उससे एक्चुअली याद आया कि मैंने लास्ट ईयर एक यूट्यूब पे आई थिंक एक सेशन लिया था जहाँ पे मैंने बताया था कि मॉक एनालिसिस कैसे करते हैं। सो अभी करना इज लाइक द इजियर क्वेश्चन जो आप अभी तुरंत इमीडिएटली कर सकते हो क्योंकि आपको पता है। एंड बी अप्रोच इज कि बाद में करते हैं थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा। आई नो दिस टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चन, आई हैव सॉल्व्ड दिस टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चन, but it might take me some time to get to the answer. And C is like, this is completely new for me, it's very lengthy, it's no point. अगर मेरा सही हुआ तो भी मुझे एक नंबर मिलना है, नोबेल प्राइज नहीं मिलना। अगर गलत हुआ तो 0.25 चला जाएगा और नोबेल प्राइज फिर भी नहीं मिल रहा। तो बेटर है कि मैं उसको छोड़ दूं क्योंकि नेगेटिव पॉइंट है। सो आई थिंक दैट इज द वेरी वेरी इजियर अप्रोच। अच्छा, मैं ग्रुप पे ना कुछ देव मैं देख रहा हूँ कुछ बच्चे कुछ क्वेश्चंस ऐसा पूछ रहे हैं। आई अंडरस्टैंड कि ऑफलाइन मॉक्स के अपने एडवांटेजेस होते हैं क्योंकि एग्जामिनेशन ऑफलाइन है। हाउ डू यू थिंक ऑनलाइन एग्जामिनेशंस और ऑनलाइन मॉक टेस्ट्स helps you prepare for the final day?
Sir, for online mocks, sir, it is equally beneficial than as according to offline mocks because firstly, online may you have the paper in front of you. You don't have any extra. I mean, you don't have a paper which is down on a desk, but the paper is right in front of your screen, and it helps you to learn managing your time and not focus on other stuff. Because we tend to switch to YouTube or Instagram or whatever on laptop. But if you have a time limit, so focus the attention span is it's on the mock. So उसपे your attention span also increases, the focus also increases, and you tend to not switch to other distractions such as Facebook की ऐसा कुछ. So I believe that both offline and online mocks help for the final days.
So very fair, very fair. I completely agree to what you're saying. So अगर मैं इसको sum up करने के लिए कहूँ तो मतलब ऑनलाइन मॉक्स जो आई अंडरस्टैंड एग्जाम ऑफलाइन होगा बट ऑनलाइन में डिस्ट्रैक्शन ज़्यादा होते हैं तो वो थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट है टू टेक. So if I'm preparing myself for difficult situation, the CLAT examination automatically becomes easier, right? Is that correct?
Definitely. Absolutely.
हाँ, तो मतलब ठीक है, मतलब ऑनलाइन मॉक भी अगर आप लोग ले रहे हो, अगर आप से फॉर एग्जांपल यू कम टू अनअकैडमी एंड टेक ऑनलाइन मॉक्स और आप सो दैट विल there will be a lot of distractions, it will be difficult, I agree, and Dave also agrees. But when you go to the offline paper, तो वो थोड़ा already easy हो जाता है क्योंकि आपने difficulty के लिए prepare किया है and now you are giving the examination in an easy environment. तो वो थोड़ा सा ना it boosts your
Sir, I'll tell you another point. While giving offline paper, when you have a soft copy of the paper, after giving online mocks, you tend not to look here and there because you have focused so much on your online paper that you don't switch to another tab which is YouTube because you have a time limit and you want to complete the paper.
Fair.
So automatically in the written paper you have full focus and you don't look here and there. You don't see what your partner or your person who's on the next bench, and you don't focus on that. You're full 100% focused on your offline papers.
Fair. हाँ, मतलब सही बात है, मतलब it keeps your focus at one place and वो आगे help करता है. All right. So Dave, moving on to the other part की how did you prepare yourself for different segments? तुम कैसे जाना चाहोगे? Like each section of the Clat paper तुमने कैसे prepare किया था अपने को? How would you like to go about? तुम like students को एक बार बताओ so that उनको समझ में आए कि individual subjects की strategy क्या हो सकती है?
Sir, I'll start with my strongest section in Clat, which is math, which comes as a surprise to most students. But fortunately, I got 14 on 15 in the Clat, my final exam. So I was really happy with the way I scored in math. But some students ऐसा ऐसा सोचते हैं कि ये बहुत tricky है section, मेरे से नहीं होगा, पूरा skip करता हूँ. But it is a really bad idea to skip the whole thing because this topic, this section is very, very scoring. If you devote a little time, extra time to math, definitely you'll get more than 10 in your mocks and about 13 to 14 in your final exams. So in math, I believe that a daily dose of practice is required and will definitely do the trick. For me, I had yes, sir, go on.
नहीं, so I just wanted to know here, Dev, कि what are those very very important topics जो तुम स्टूडेंट्स को बताना चाहोगे कि मैथ्स में कर लो जिससे कि तुम्हारा स्कोर इम्प्रूव हो जाएगा. लाइक देयर माइट बी 5-6 टॉपिक्स, राइट? कि वो कौन से टॉपिक्स थे जो तुम स्टूडेंट्स को बताओगे?
Right, sir, definitely. So it's the math which was there in the past. The before 5 years had a single set question, but after the new strategy, it's only set based questions. So each set has 5 questions, and there are 3 sets in total, so 15 marks. So basically, set or data interpretation. Say कैसे you get the answer. So I focused on the main topic, which is percentage, profit and loss, and ratio. So these are the 3 ones I focused on, and only those came in the final exam. तो जो data दिया है वो tables दिए है उससे how much percentage more is this than the previous year, then what is the profit percentage or what is the ratio of this year or compared to the last year. So ऐसे ही questions आए थे and I was really happy. So there I scored really good marks. And coming back to strategy is that always keep or remember to always keep a timer for each question, for each set of questions, because students tend to really think and फिर उसमें मैथ सेक्शन में आधा घंटा चला जाता है. बट you don't have to spend more than 15 to 15 and the higher limit is 20, but 15 minutes से ज़्यादा cannot give on math. So for me, my goal was to complete math in about 10 to 15 minutes. So each set I used to complete in 4 minutes because firstly I had brushed up on the shortcut methods as well as the formulas which Vaibhav also gave. Or initially you feel that अभी नया नया सीखा है तो time लगेगा. Keep a limit of 20, high limit of 20 minutes, but as time passes, reduce your total time in maths to about 12 to 15 minutes. That should be your final goal. And another important thing is that you should always devise shortcuts in math. कि percentage इतने सारे number के बाद there are 4 zeros, but पूरा number नहीं लिखना है. Just if the pattern is similar in the whole question, then you write 10 instead of 10,000. So I was really strong at that with my shortcut methods. And last point is that your concepts that you've learned in 10th standard, mainly on the three topics I mentioned that should be brushed up and it should be on the tip of your tongue. So those concepts and the shortcut methods are key to solving the math section. And believe me, maths is not difficult. It is really easy, but just a little more time and a little more effort, and it's easily crackable.
Fair. तो अगर मैं इसको quickly sum up करूँ तो to all the students who are watching this session, देव ने 2 बातें बोली. मैथमेटिक्स बहुत डिफिकल्ट नहीं है, तुम्हें 2 चीज़ें करनी है. पहले तो 3 टॉपिक्स को समझ लो कि कहाँ से क्वेश्चंस आ रहा है क्लैट में. वन इज रेशियो प्रोपोर्शन, सेकेंड इज प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस, थर्ड इज परसेंटेजेस. ये 3 टॉपिक ही है जिस पे तुमको बहुत फोकस करना है. सेकेंडली ही सेड कि बॉस तुम्हारा पर्पस मैथमेटिक्स में लाइक एबेल प्राइज नहीं जीतना है तुमको मैथमेटिक्स का, विच इज इक्विवेलेंट टू नोबेल प्राइज. ठीक है, तो तुमको एबेल प्राइज जीतना नहीं है. तुम्हें एक एंट्रेंस एग्जामिनेशन क्रैक करना है, तुम्हें 15 क्वेश्चन मिलेंगे, तुम्हें 15 मिनट देना है. ठीक है, देव 14 on 15 लेके आया, तुम अगर 10 on 15 भी लेके आते हो तो वो बहुत बढ़िया है 15 मिनट में, क्योंकि स्कोरिंग सेक्शन है. या तो सही होगा या तो गलत होगा, या तो तुम्हें आंसर मिलेगा या तो तुम्हें आंसर नहीं मिलेगा. ठीक है,
आंसर you should not guess in this section. Answer if the answer matches with the option, only then sir. ऐसा नहीं है कि ये इतना क्लोजेस्ट है तो मैं ये मार्क कर दिया सर. ऐसे तो it's a strategy that most people use, but it does not work.
हाँ देखो ये एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है कि भाई मेरा आंसर इस ऑप्शन से क्लोजर है तो इसको मार्क कर देते हैं, मत करना, छोड़ देना, उससे बेटर है. एंड द मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट टिप दैट देव गिव इज कि देखो तुम्हें बहुत सारे शॉर्टकट फॉर्मूलाज मिल जाएंगे. कुछ चीजें थोड़ा सा बाय हार्ट कर लो, थोड़ा सा रटाफिकेशन नेवर गोज टू वेस्ट. अगर थोड़ा सा बाय हार्ट कर लिया, थोड़ा सा प्रैक्टिस कर लिया, थोड़ा सा उस पर एफर्ट्स डाल दिया, तो आई एम श्योर कि तुम भी सॉल्व कर लोगे. 10 on 15 या 7 on 15 और 8 on 15 तो एटलीस्ट करके आ पाओगे. सो वेर यू आर स्ट्रगलिंग विथ 1-2 marks इन मैथमेटिक्स या कंप्लीटली छोड़ के आ रहे हो, वहां गेटिंग 7 और 8 इज अ बिग डील. ठीक है, सो मैथमेटिक्स इज डन. So remember these three topics: ratio, proportion, percentages and profit and loss. ये तीन तुम्हारा बहुत बढ़िया से होना चाहिए. ठीक है. So that was your strongest suit there. Now coming to the second section, which one would be your second section that you would tell?
Sir, I would come to the tiebreaker section, which is a legal section.
Ah,
This section is the most important section out of all because अगर टाई हुआ किसी अदर प्लेयर के साथ who is given that 22, it defines your rank. So if because बहुत सारे लोग का रैंक से स्कोर सेम आता है, but the rank depends on legal section. So legal section में if you have done exceptionally well, then you are sure to get a higher rank than the people who scored similar to you. So one of but there was some misconception a few a year back ki, for the legal section you don't have to study any laws, you don't have to read up on any laws, but I believe the contrary because a little basic understanding of what the law is, for example law of torts, फिर constitution है, फिर contracts है, फिर criminal law है, जो material Vaibhav sir ने दिया as well as Unacademy पे है. Read upon these laws, not the bare act. Bare act ऐसा कोई ऐसा क्वेश्चन नहीं आएगा कि what is this section, तो वैसा नहीं, but a basic understanding of, for example contracts में what is acceptance of contract, वैसे सब if you don't have enough time for, but ऐसा नहीं कि पैसे नहीं पढ़ते हैं, but if you don't have enough time you can always jump to the question, but that is just a plan B, but plan A is to always read the passage because it also tells what the law is. And secondly, catch hold of Vaibhav sir because this legal section is sir's forte, and ask him to answer your questions. Even call him, your sir will pick it up, sir. And trust me, if you read up on the law and if you do mocks, this is going to go a long way. And if you have some friends who are studying law, for example me, you can always ask or approach me for specific questions in law, and I'll be happy to answer those. And for law, you can always read the newspapers. That will also help give some basic understanding or aspect on the legal sense.
फेयर. अच्छा, ऑल्सो देव, मेरे को एक्चुअली अभी तुमने कुछ कहा उससे मुझे एक चीज याद आई. That it was very very sweet of you to say that you are available and approachable to all these students. उनको जब भी कोई डाउट होता है, and that's really very sweet of you. उससे मेरे को एक चीज ये याद आई कि जो हमारा पहले का टेलीग्राम ग्रुप हुआ करता था उसमें बहुत सारे डाउट्स आते थे, एंड यू वुड बी वेरी वेरी प्रोएक्टिव इन दोज टेलीग्राम डाउट्स. लाइक मैं उतना एक्टिव नहीं होता था जितना तुम एक्टिव होते थे. Why would you be so active solving others' doubts? क्यों करते थे?
Right, sir. So people who are giving Clat and जो questions पूछे group पे, they're obviously very motivated and dedicated. Because if you find lazy people, if you see some people who are not at all focused, so they don't even take the efforts to ask questions.
Fair.
But asking questions is a really good point because एक तो you get your answer cleared and then you have the concept also cleared. But seeing the questions asked, I believe that they are on the same level as I am, and answering them will also help me benefit me of my own skills. तो मेरा भी इतना जो difficult question है, I would take 5 to 10 minutes to first answer that, and then I would help them. I would type the whole answer down क्योंकि मेरा भी benefit, मेरा तो immense benefit हो गया, and the person who is asking the questions उनका भी benefit हो गया because they already got the answer and I have
तुम्हारा रिवीजन हो गया. हाँ.
Exactly. And if I don't know the concept of what the question is, then I would research about it because the question आया है और क्लैट में आ गया तो फिर क्या करेंगे?
Fair.
Then reading the questions and answering it is also it should be done.
हाँ मतलब या तो मुझे अपना वीक एरिया पता चल गया या तो मेरा
Exactly.
रिविजन हो गया. ईदर वे इट इज
Absolutely.
बेनिफिटिंग मी. सामने वाले का बेनिफिट हो रहा है बट इट इज बेनिफिटिंग मी. सो दैट वे इट्स ग्रेट. हाँ ठीक है. कूल. फेयर. अच्छा, मूविंग ऑन टू another very dreadful subject, critical reasoning. What would you suggest students
Yes,
for
sir.
critical reasoning?
Definitely, sir. Sir, so first I would ask the students to understand the concepts of legal reasoning. For example, what is the main theme of the question? What do you infer from this statement? What is this statement implicit or explicit? फिर strengthening, weakening, वैसे questions वो जो ऐसे जो words है उसका perfect meaning क्या है? What does this word mean? उसका you should have a very well understanding of the concepts. और फिर जो concept है उन पे ही सिर्फ solve 5 to 10 questions. तो पूरा passage पूरा paper सिर्फ इस पे है, सिर्फ conclusion पे है. What is the conclusion of this passage? What is the conclusion of this paragraph? तो ऐसे करके you will get a grasp of all these concepts. And then coming to learning after learning the concepts, I would, because all the passages are extremely long, about 400 words each. But my paper was about 42 pages long. So it was a task to complete. But what I would do, I would deconstruct the passage. So I had a pencil in my hand. I would put brackets in the paper, and then I would also underline. And in the online mocks, I would also highlight using some tools which are available on the net. So online I would use to highlight, and offline papers I used to underline. And then once this is done, I would try to understand what the passage is really telling about. And coming to the options, the best way is elimination of the options. तो एलिमिनेशन हो गया, 3 ऑप्शन चले गए, देन यू आर bang on target ki other 3 then there are sure not to be answers, then definitely the fourth one is the answer. And another point which I would like to reiterate is practice conclusion question, practice strengthening weakening questions. And once you know ki ye mujhe perfectly aata hai, then come to the 35 questions in the papers. I'm sure you will be able to crack it using the material available as well as your own skills.
Fair, man. I get what you're saying. So, two key takeaways from, in fact, three key takeaways from Dev's point. One is strengthening, weakening, inference, conclusion, and what the author is trying to say exist जो है वो understanding. ये 3 टाइप के questions आपको सबसे ज़्यादा मिलेंगे critical reasoning में. Second he says is practice. As much as you can practice, और कोई भी एक passage मिलता है तो उससे 8-10 question खुद से बना के पूछ लो and try and understand the entire passage to its entirety. Third is the most important thing जो मैं हर बार अपने हर क्लास में कहता हूँ, चाहे वो कोई भी सब्जेक्ट हो, use elimination method. जितने ऑप्शंस तुम एलिमिनेट करते हो, मैं उसने कहा 3 ऑप्शंस एलिमिनेट कर दो, मैं कहता हूँ तुम 2 ऑप्शंस भी एलिमिनेट कर देते हो ना, तो तुम्हारी प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ गेटिंग द करेक्ट आंसर इंक्रीजेस फ्रॉम 25 to 50. तो 25% तुम्हारी प्रोबेबिलिटी इंक्रीज कर जाती है क्योंकि मैंने 2 ऑप्शंस को एलिमिनेट कर दिया है. अब गलत होगा तो 50-50 का चांस है, और अगर तीसरा भी एलिमिनेट कर दिया तब तो यू नो बैंग ऑन कि भैया ये मेरा करेक्ट आंसर है. सो एलिमिनेट एज मेनी ऑप्शंस एज यू कैन. Use elimination technique, that is the most important. ठीक है, great. Okay, Dev, coming to English language, and यहाँ पे मैं तुमसे ना एक और चीज पूछूंगा जो कि बहुत सारे बच्चों को प्रॉब्लम होती है, इसकी how can we increase our reading speed? हम
Definitely sir.
Like ये पूरा पेपर इंग्लिश में है और रीडिंग स्पीड जो है वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. सो हाउ कैन वी इंक्रीज द रीडिंग स्पीड एंड व्हाट डिड यू डू फॉर इंग्लिश सेक्शन?
Yes, sir. The ability of your speed reading is really important because passage charts of word का होता है. So generally, what happens to some students is after reading half the passage, they tend to look around and they forget what the first half is. So उसमें से that should be avoided because firstly um, you need to stop everything which is going around you and full focus on your question paper. And for some the papers, the offline papers, I used to keep a pencil in hand. I used to go over each line, and my eyes generally didn't move because I had the ability to read with my eyes fixed, so and not like moving here and there. Because if you, that is one of the strategies I used. And along with uh, starting a paper, I used to there was one strategy which I used, that if you have to look 20 seconds to something closer to you, and then 20 seconds something further away. This helps in increasing your attention span, as well as finishing and increasing the speed of your passage. So as you read along the passage, keep your eyes fixed, and keep the pencil moving, because you tend to miss one of the lines, and the pencil really helps in not missing any of the lines. And speed the reading, always I used a tool in the earlier stages of my preparation. There was a speed reading tool on Google that I used, and I used to mark my speeding and my my skills of able to comprehend the passage.
Correct.
So धीरे my score keep increasing as I use these techniques. Then that these are some of the strategies I use.
Fair. So, देखो एक one key thing that to all of the students who are listening to this session is practice करना पड़ेगा. ये overnight success कुछ नहीं है. You may think कि ठीक है, देव जो है वो GNLU में बैठा हुआ है and he is an overnight success. ऐसा नहीं है. वो उसने practice किया है काफी. तो वो Google पे जाके भी उसने देखा कि कैसे speed reading कर सकते हैं. What are the tools that he can use for increasing his speed. फिर उसने कहा कि भाई मैं आईज को एकदम फिक्स करके जल्दी जल्दी पढ़ूंगा, मैं जल्दी जल्दी I'll keep moving my pencil, I keep moving my fingers to do it quickly. मैं internal monologue जो है वो बंद करूंगा. कि I remember giving this advice to him कि देव internal monologue बंद करो, मन में पढ़ना बंद करो, जल्दी जल्दी जो दिख रहा है बस वो पढ़ते चले जाओ. क्योंकि जो हम लोग अंदर में पढ़ते हैं, जो बोल बोल के पढ़ते हैं, उसकी स्पीड बहुत कम होती है. The speed at which I can speak and the speed at which I can read are two very different speed. I may not be able to speak as fast as I read. तो हमको inner monologue बंद करना है, जल्दी जल्दी पढ़ना है. And all of this comes with practice. तुमको थोड़ा सा efforts and थोड़ी सी practice जो है वो डालनी पड़ेगी. And उससे क्या होता है कि तुम्हारी speed जो है वो बढ़ जाती है. So that becomes very very essential. And of course being inquisitive is important. कि भाई आपको कोई वर्ड का मतलब नहीं समझ में आ रहा तो आप जाके डिक्शनरी देखोगे, आप उसको याद रखने की कोशिश करोगे. वॉट एवर वे यू कैन रिमेंबर, हिंदी में, गुजराती में या बांग्ला में, वॉट एवर इज योर मदर टंग, आप उसमें उसको याद करने की कोशिश करोगे कि चलो ठीक है इस वर्ड का मतलब ये होता है. So that is how you.
Another point which I would like to add in the speeding itself, that when you tend to read it in your mind, you have some random thoughts. कि if you find the passage boring, तो दिमाग में random thoughts आ जाते हैं कि ये इतना boring passage है मैं क्यों पढ़ रहा हूँ. So what I used to do, I used to whisper. I mean, not speak aloud the passage, but whisper, because as you're whispering, your brain also tries to understand what you're saying. So initially in the earlier stages, I used to whisper the whole passage, and this really benefited me. And धीरे धीरे I used to read it in my mind, and ऐसे दूसरे distracting thoughts नहीं आते थे मुझे. So while this is one of the very good tips which I used in understanding the passage.
See, this is actually very smart. At times होता है इतना lengthy paper, इतने सारे passages, you tend to your like so. Okay, Dev. So I'm sure इतने lengthy paper में ना तुम्हारा भी interest drop करता होगा. ठीक है? तो उस समय तुम क्या करते थे? What would you do at that time when your interest would drop? या तुम्हारा बोला यार हो गया यार, I'm very tired now. What would you do when your interest or your energy dropped?
Sir, मुझे भी होता था starting में, sir. It happens to everyone.
हाँ.
So what I used to do, sir, I started with one of the most strongest section, and the section which I like the most, क्योंकि फिर paper में थोड़ा I feel a bit excited because it's strong. It's my strong section, and मेरा थोड़ा मोरल भी थोड़ा हाई हो गया. So whatever your section, strongest section is, I believe you should always start with that क्योंकि थोड़ा confidence भी आ जाता है फिर boost भी हो जाता है confidence. So and another point is कि I always had a goal in mind to join one of the NLU. So I had a whiteboard which I wrote. So top 5 or top 10 NLUs and my percentage in that in boards. तो उधर बड़े numbers में लिखा था, so I read it every day whenever I'm sitting on the table. So it really benefited me कि this is my goal, I want to accomplish this, and hopefully and thankfully because of Vaibhav sir as well as material and well as because of my determination I got into GNLU sir.
ठीक है. So अच्छा, now coming to the last section there, which is general knowledge, current affairs. One
Yes, sir.
like huge, vast.
Sir,
Like,
yes, sir.
and I
completely
remember,
agreeing to it, sir.
and I still remember, you coming to me and saying कि सर ये क्या स्टैटिक जीके की किताब दे दी है, तो इतना बड़ा है तो खत्म ही नहीं होगा. Like how do I do it? How do I go about GK current affairs? So what was your approach with GK current affairs?
Yes, sir. So I agree that this section is very deadly. Even I face a lot of problems, but fortunately, my paper in the GK section, my paper was better than average. So here I would like to reiterate is reading newspapers, but reading newspapers which and avoid the entertainment section. Entertainment section of newspapers is all random because you don't need to know who was spotted, XYZ is spotted here, and this XYZ is eating at this restaurant, which is all random and which is not useful
that is
for Clad,
interesting but not relevant.
Exactly, sir. Because it's known as the entertainment section, sir.
Right.
It entertains you.
Right.
Sir. So one of my strategies is reading a newspaper. I read the Hindu and the Indian Express daily for half an hour. And what I used to do is I had a diary and I had segregated according to the weeks. तो जब एक दिन जो पढ़ा था न्यूज़पेपर में उसका सिर्फ हेडलाइन और जस्ट सम फ्यू पॉइंट्स कि फॉर एग्जांपल गलवान वैली which was a whole set in my Clat 2021 paper. तो उसमें से I remembered I had written where the war actually happened, Galwan, and on which fort did it happen. So there was something like Fort 8 or something like that. Don't remember exactly, but
point.
I had written it down. So how many soldiers were killed from India, from China, and where did the war actually happen? Why did it happen? Just a few points. I mean, not even the point is not even more than 4 or 5 words long. So some mistakes the students do is completely not writing the points or writing too much. If you don't write, that is also a disadvantage, and if you write too much, फिर last में बहुत stress हो जाएगा. So maintaining a diary is really important, and writing the headline as well as the some few points. But as soon as you read the headline, you have to segregate it into two, which is relevant and which is irrelevant. So this has to be according to your knowledge. No one can help you in this. So if you find this relevant, then add it. But if you find this irrelevant, such as an entertainment section, then skip it completely. So that is one of the strategies I used, and I also saw mocks to get a fair idea of what the time span was. कि ये 10 महीने पहले का क्वेश्चन था, ये 6 महीने का क्वेश्चन था. So unfortunately, in a Clat 21 paper, which happened in July, they asked a passage from March 2020. That is almost a year and 6 months back. So that was very famous. That was the Galwan Valley incident itself. But ऐसा नहीं, there's no particular time span which the Clat consortium mentions कि इसमें से ये time span में से आएगा. But generally, you should always have a fair idea of what happened in the past 10 months. And if you have a fair idea, then definitely you're going to crack this section. Also, you should join the Telegram and WhatsApp groups of Vaibhav as well as Unacademy. There are regular updates you'll be getting. And yes, that's all said and done.
Right. So again, to sum up what Dave said, few things. One, when you're reading some important event, तो उसको पहले headline लिखो और headline लिख के छोड़ मत दो. थोड़ा सा उसके डीप में जाओ, लाइक से फॉर एग्जांपल व्हाट, व्हाई, व्हेन, वेयर, ये सब क्वेश्चंस जब आप पूछ लेते हो अपने से,
Exactly, sir.
तो वो थोड़ा
You can
सा
ask the 5 Ws.
हाँ, द 5 Ws जो मैं हमेशा अपने क्लासेस में बताता भी हूँ, एंड एग्जैक्टली व्हाट ही फॉलोड, कि लाइक बेसिक आप हु, व्हाई, व्हेन, वेयर, व्हाट, आपने 5 क्वेश्चन पूछ लिया, तुमको उसका डेप्थ पता चल गया। अब उसके बियॉन्ड अगर क्वेश्चन आता है तो जाने दो, हमने अपनी बेस्ट तैयारी की थी, उसके बाद भी नहीं आया, हम नहीं कर सकते, क्योंकि करंट अफेयर्स का कोई एंड नहीं है, एंड दिस वे वी आर आल्सो प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर अ स्टैटिक जीके पर्पस, कि भाई उस करंट इवेंट से रिलेटेड स्टैटिक का कोई क्वेश्चन आया तो हम आंसर कर लेंगे। तो एक हो गया कि भाई थोड़ा सा हेडलाइन लिखो और थोड़ा सा इन डेप्थ चले जाओ, जो कि मैंने आई थिंक कल या परसों एक सेशन भी लिया था, हाउ टू मेक जीके नोट्स, जिसमें मैंने यही बात बताई भी है, तो आप लोग वो वीडियो भी जाके देख सकते हो। सेकेंडली, यू विल हैव टू डू इट, चाहे तुम रो के करो चाहे तुम हंस के करो, करना तो करना है। मतलब दिस इज लाइक 25% of the paper is GK section. You can't skip it. You will have to struggle with it. उसके लिए थर्ड, व्हाट देव सेड, भाई टेलीग्राम ग्रुप ज्वाइन कर लो, मेरा कर लो, मेरी जीके की क्लासेस होती है, करंट अफेयर्स की क्लासेस मैं रेगुलरली करते रहता हूँ, तो कीप अटेंडिंग दोज क्लासेस। क्विजेस कराता हूँ, वो क्विजेस कर लो। अनअकैडमी प्लस पे अगर आप सब्सक्रिप्शन खरीद लेते हो, तो वहाँ पे भी मैं रिविजन कोर्स चला रहा हूँ फ्रॉम द मंथ ऑफ अगस्त। आज हम लोग दिसंबर का फर्स्ट किए थे उसमें, तो उसका मैं रिविजन भी कराऊंगा, सो यू डोंट हैव टू वरी अबाउट इट। सो यू कैन टेक अनअकैडमी प्लस सब्सक्रिप्शन ऑल्सो, जैसे कि देव को काफ़ी हेल्प मिली, वैसे तुम लोग को भी काफ़ी हेल्प मिल जाएगी, विद मॉक्स, विद टेस्ट्स, विद क्लासेस, विद रिविजन सेट्स। तो ये क्लासेस और रिविजन करना जो है वो काफ़ी इंपॉर्टेंट होता है। तो ऑल सेड एंड डन कि हमने सारे पांचों सेक्शंस जान लिए देव से।
Sir, just one point which
Sure,
you
sure.
have already always told me is that you either know the answer in GK or you don't.
Correct.
There's no guesses, sir.
हाँ.
Either know the answer. If you don't, you can leave it, but you cannot ponder on that question. कि हाँ ये पढ़ा था कि ये पढ़ा था. If you get it in that millisecond, then you are confident that you'll get it right. Only then take the correct option, sir. But you cannot. I believe that you cannot guess in GK section. For example, who scored hundreds in cricket? So if you have options of Sachin on other three batsmen or players, you cannot think कि ऐसा कि सचिन ने मारा था ये मैच में, ये किया था कि इसने किया था. You cannot ponder on that question, sir. You should hardly take 5 to 10 seconds to read the question and answer.
Correct. Fair. This is actually something which I was missing. Thank you, Dave, for pointing it out. जीके में तुमको 5 से 10 सेकंड में या तो आता है या तो नहीं आता है। नहीं आता है छोड़ दो, क्योंकि नेगेटिव मार्क्स है। अगर आता है तो तुमको पता है कि बॉस ये है, उसको मार्क करो और आगे बढ़ जाओ। जस्ट डोंट वेस्ट योर टाइम थिंकिंग कि अच्छा। ऑल्सो इट इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि आप अपने गट के साथ जाओ। कई बार होता है कि है ना कि हम लोग बहुत ओवर थिंक करना शुरू कर देते हैं कि अरे ये भी हो सकता है क्या, डिड आई रीड दिस समवेयर। हाउ डिड यू मैनेज दैट डे, लाइक हाउ डिड यू मैनेज सच थॉट प्रोसेस?
Sir, I remove my gut at home, sir. I just use my brain, sir. So basically, sir, I really didn't think in GK कि ये पढ़ा था कि ये correct option था. जो आता था वो करता था, नहीं तो I would have left it. I didn't spend more than 20 seconds on the same on one question, sir.
Fair. Okay, so one question that I see of Anushka is, can I crack Clat in 2 months? Is it possible? Please answer.
Sir, 100%. Sir.
Okay, so Anushka,
100%.
I think तुमको एक boost मिला होगा. Dave, who's sitting right now at GNLU, he says that it is possible for you to crack Clat in 2 months.
Even if you have not started anything, or if you're starting from scratch, definitely you can get into one of the top NLEs, even if you have not started.
Okay, and for that to happen, Anushka, मेरे तरफ से advice होगा, just look for a structured course. Join Unacademy Plus. You can use my referral code VAI10, get a 10% discount. You can connect with me on Telegram. If you have any doubts and concerns, just get in touch with me, speak to me, and अपना एक बैच ज्वाइन करो, स्ट्रक्चर्ड तरीके से अपनी प्रिपरेशन करो, मॉक्स सॉल्व करो, टेस्ट्स लो, एंड आई एम श्योर कि you can crack that examination in 2 months. So अच्छा, so for example, ठीक है, चलो देव, I think we'll wrap this up with the final question. Rather, two questions. One is, uh, NLU क्यों जाना चाहिए? Why should anyone go to NLU?
Sir, great question, sir. And I just wanted to say that I got to campus last week, and till now it has been an exciting and really beneficial journey. And a good law school, especially an NLU, is important in several aspects, sir. Firstly, the brand of the NLU is a really important aspect. The importance of a brand cannot be undetermined, sir. And along with having the brand of an NLU, the faculty and the teaching styles can make a huge difference. I am privileged to have some of the best teachers teaching me law, and it naturally evokes my interest in different and various fields of law, such as I've recently gained interest in cyber law and sports law, which is a very niche and very new field of law, which has not been researched or talked about. But yes, I've gained a lot of interest through an NLU. And otherwise, the internships and placements also become really easy with the top NLUs, because they have the interviewers have that thought in mind कि ये तो NLU से है, उसने crack अच्छे से पढ़ा होगा, sorry, Clat के लिए अच्छे से पढ़ा होगा, and he must have cracked it, and that's why he is in an NLU. Moving along, I really, and students are also very competitive and very inclined to study and excel in Clat. So naturally, you have that motivation to study. And lastly, sir, I just wanted to say that the alumni of the NLU is really strong, and they can always help you when you are in need. And this does not generally happen in private colleges, because some alumni, after passing out, they lose touch with private NLUs. The private law colleges. Yes, so these are the few points that say that NLUs are always better than most law colleges.
Student competition, faculty base, and your alumni.
And internships.
And through alumni, you getting internships. Three things why you should be going and joining a national law university. Okay, final question, Dev. What propelled you to choose the field of law? Like, why law? क्यों law choose किया?
Sir, this is a very, most people ask me this question. So naturally, sir, my father is also a corporate lawyer. He works in Nishbet Associates, and my grandmother as well. She was working in the High Court, and naturally, I'm inclined to law because I've grown up in a law background, and my father keeps discussing a lot of different laws on calls and stuff like that. And I had naturally had an interest in sports law because I'm a sports person. So I always wanted to do something which is really unique, because sports law isn't a career option for most people, as well as cyber law, because everything has become online. Even this interview which we are doing is online, so many problems can come up. So how to solve these problems is what I want to know, sir. This is what propelled me to choose laws.
Fair. And so yes, and Dave's journey to law has just begun, which began actually 2 years back, and now he's at a national university, and I cannot be more proud of him. And I'm very sure that he's going to excel tremendously in the field of law, whatever field he decides to do, be it corporate, be it sports law, be it cyber law. I would always want him to do amazingly well in sports law, because he's the first time I met him, I was in awe of Dev ki, at such a young age Dev जो है इंडिया को represent किया था टेबल टेनिस में. So yes, he doing well in sports law will always be very close to my heart. But yes, I hope guys तुम लोग को बहुत सारी चीज़ें आज देव से सीखने को मिली थी. अगर मैं एक नटशेल में जल्दी से बता दूं तो yes, तुम लोग अभी भी 2 से 3 मंथ का जो भी टाइम है हमारे पास उसमें क्रैक कर सकते हो. Don't get disheartened. Secondly, take mock tests फुल लेंथ पेपर को जितना सॉल्व कर सकते हो उतना सॉल्व करो, एंड नॉट जस्ट सॉल्विंग, उसको एनालिसिस करो, उसको एनालाइज करो, अपनी गलतियों के साथ बैठो, अपने मिस्टेक्स को फिगर आउट करो एंड उसको इम्प्रूव करो। देन मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंटली गेट अ स्ट्रक्चर्ड प्रोग्राम, क्योंकि आप इधर उधर लास्ट के 3 मंथ में भागोगे बहुत कंफ्यूजन होगा कि ये मटेरियल करे, वो करे, ऐसे करे हुए। एक स्ट्रक्चर्ड प्रोग्राम पे स्टिक करो, चाहे वो अनअकैडमी हो या कुछ भी हो, स्टिक टू अ स्ट्रक्चर्ड प्रोग्राम। इफ यू वांट टू ज्वाइन अनअकैडमी यू कैन डू दैट। अनअकैडमी प्लस सब्सक्रिप्शन लो, वीडियो के डिस्क्रिप्शन में तुमको लिंक मिलेगा। यू कैन यूज माई रेफरल कोड VAI, वैभव का VAI एंड 10, तुमको 10% डिस्काउंट मिलेगा। ज्वाइन अ पर्टिकुलर बैच, और यू कैन कनेक्ट विद मी ऑन टेलीग्राम। जो भी सवाल होते हैं पूछ लो, एंड start your preparation as soon as you can. Don't waste time. Give yourself some positive feedbacks, positive reinforcements कि नहीं मैं कर लूँगा, I can do it, I still have a lot of time, I can do it. So positive reinforcement, positive talks जो है वो बहुत आपको help करेंगे, and keeping in mind all of this, आप अपना best दो। अगर मान लो ये नहीं भी होता है तो यू हैव अ वेरी एडवांटेज्ड अपॉर्चुनिटी कि दिसंबर 2022 में आपको एक सेकंड अटेम्प्ट मिल जाएगा क्लैट 23 के लिए। सो 6-7 months डाउन द लाइन यू हैव अनदर क्लैट अटेम्प्ट जो कि आपको दिसंबर 2022 में हो जाएगा। तो यू कैन ऑलवेज टेक पार्ट इन दैट, लाइक यू कैन टेक दैट अटेम्प्ट ऑल्सो। तो अभी से अपना प्रिपरेशन जो है वो फटाफट एकदम शुरू करो, एंड thank you so very much, Dev, for giving your valuable time. I know it's...
Sir, if I can speak
yes,
a few words, final tips, sir.
Yes, please do.
Sir, I take this opportunity to sincerely thank you because it is extremely essential to have a mentor like you, and he's the one to give tips, and who better than Vaibhav, sir. And I would like to end this interview by talking about an acronym which I made myself on Clad, sir. C stands for confidence in yourself. L stands for liking and enjoying the process. A stands for achieving your targets, and T stands for efficient time management. And if you keep these 4 acronyms in place, you're surely going to crack that, and you'll definitely get admission into your dream courses.
Wow, this was actually amazing, Dev. Thank you so much. मतलब CLAT का acronym बहुत बढ़िया था, and this is actually very nice. If you could just repeat it once again.
Definitely, sir. Sir, the C for Clat stands for confidence in yourself.
Confidence.
L stands for L stands for liking what and enjoying what you do, sir. That is a really important
liking
aspect.
the process.
E stands for yes, sir. A stands for achieving your targets, which is scoring more than your previous marks and scoring the cutoff for different NLUs. And lastly, the T stands for efficient time management.
Time management. Very nice. Amazing. So if you have confidence in yourself, if you like the process, if you enjoy the process, and you achieve your targets, and you have time management under your belt and your kitty, you will be able to achieve the dream of getting into a national law university just like how they did. So I think this is one of the finest ways as to how we could have ended this interview session. Thank you so very much, Dev, for these final words. I really appreciate you taking out the time and interacting with all the students. Hopefully, this is going to benefit thousands and thousands of students who take CLAT examination every year. और कहीं ना कहीं उनको ये चीज़ काफ़ी help करेगी, and a lot of them might get in touch with you over social media. आजकल connections काफ़ी easy हो गए बनाना. So and
sir, waiting for hell lot of messages, sir.
I'm sure. So you guys can get in touch with Dave over Telegram or whatever social media platform that you can get. You can catch him up. So of course, give him some breathing space and time to reply to your texts and messages. Because he's also doing a full-time course at GNLU, so just be a little patient. But I'm sure he has always been a very, very helpful lad. One of the nicest boys that I have come across in my life so far. So yes, thank you so very much, Dave, for coming and joining for this session. I really appreciate it. And thank you all of you, जो लोग जिन लोगों ने भी ये सेशन ज्वाइन किया है और जो लोग ये सेशन बाद में भी देखेंगे, थैंक यू सो वेरी मच. आई होप कि आपको काफ़ी बेनिफिट हुआ होगा एंड विल कीप हैविंग such discussions and talks over the coming few weeks and months. On that note, this is Vaibhav off. This is Dev. Thank you so much, Dev, once again. Uh, we'll see you all again very soon. Till then, have a lovely evening, all of you. Thank you so much. Bye bye.